Welcome back. So here, I wanted to go over something that came across my feed the other day. So Brandon Aiyuk, which question, topic, subject, y'all know the drill. He posted on his TikTok a slideshow of a bunch of pictures. Some of him, some of just like his room, just cool stuff he's got going on. And then one picture came across that kind of surprised me. He posted a picture of his TV. And it wasn't the TV; it was what was on the TV, and it looked like the Washington Commanders practice film. And why is that something? Because the San Francisco 49ers have yet to extend him, and we know he wants to be paid. We know he wants to be paid. And he's a fantastic receiver, good route runner, good hands, good after the catch, good blocker. Like there's nothing to not like about his game. But with all that being said, where does he fit on the Kyle Shanahan 49ers totem pole? It's not as high as Christian McCaffrey. It's not as high as like a guy like Debo, just another gadget guy. It's not as high as like a Nick Bosa or a Fred Warner or hell, maybe even Trent Williams. So who's he gonna play for next year? Because there are reports that he wants out because he wants to be paid, and there's some rumblings of like he's really close and cool with Jaden Daniels, who the Commanders just took in the draft last season, or this past off season. But the thing is, Jaden Daniels is a rookie, and it doesn't matter how highly drafted he was. He doesn't have the gravitas or like the pull within the organization to go to their GM and say, "Oh, I like Brandon Aiyuk. I'm really cool with him. Trade for him." Like, dude, he's a rookie. And he's uber talented. I like his game. Do I think he takes a little bit too many hits? Absolutely. But his arm, his mind, his legs, fantastic. And there's also been reports that he's been linked with my team, the Steelers, which I would love it. I would love it. Pair him and Pickens. You have two number ones in Arthur Smith's offense that I think is going to be a lot better than what we were last season. But it amazes me because like we see what you're doing on social media, and we see that there are rumblings that you're not happy, you just want to be paid. And there was a clip that came out a couple weeks ago of you on the phone with somebody. I don't remember who it was. It might have been Jaden Daniels, and him saying they just don't want me. They don't want me back, which it's kind of a telling sign as to who he's talking about. Would I give him the $30 million he's asking for? I think he's fantastic. I don't think he's worth $30 million with the Niners, because you can't look up and say, "Oh, he's because how they pay and who they pay and what they pay will tell you how much a team or a franchise, GM, whatever the case may be, values that player and position." Where do they fit on the totem pole? Do we think he should be paid more than Nick Bosa? No. Do we think that he should be paid more than Trent Williams? No. What about Christian McCaffrey? No. He's not going to catch your 120 balls in Kyle Shanahan's offense like Amon-Ra will for Detroit, or Justin Jefferson, or CeeDee Lamb. I think he's damn near as talented as a lot of those guys that I just ripped off. But the thing is, they're high on those teams' totem poles. They're right up there with the Justin Jefferson's the best player on the Vikings, so no shit they were going to pay him the $35 million. That's a duh. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things to take away from like this whole Brandon Aiyuk, and it's not a mess. Like it hasn't gotten ugly, it hasn't gotten distasteful, or at least it's not what it's been, reported and portrayed at from, if you're not, in the media or in the know, because at the end of the day, maybe the only people that really know what's going on, Brandon Aiyuk, Kyle Shanahan, and John Lynch, the GM of the Niners. Maybe those are the only people that know. Maybe they're still trying to work out a trade to move him wherever. Because wherever he goes, they're going to have to pay him. You know what I mean? The Commanders have good receivers, and he'd be a fantastic addition because that's another weapon for a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal. I'd love him for the Steelers, and we have the cap space because we're not paying our quarterbacks. We're not. Now, will we eventually have to pay somebody? Yeah, down the line, maybe at the end of the year. Yeah, I get it. But if I'm the Steelers, why not just pull this trigger, pay him? You have a new offensive system. You have two new quarterbacks. You have one number one receiver and a bunch of other guys that are slightly above average in their roles. You have a talented offense, which the offensive line should be better. Your defenses win now with the additions that you made in the draft, and T.J. Watt's not getting any younger, and Cam Hayward's not getting any younger, and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Yeah, T.J. and Minkah are younger-ish players, but they're not getting any younger. Flatly, they're not. And Joey Porter Jr. is going to be better. So that's one of your problems that you don't necessarily have to worry about on his side because he's such a good, young, fantastic, talented player. Well, I'm going to stop rambling because I can just go on and on and on about my Steelers, and I need to stay at the topic at hand of who will win, where, why. Who will Brandon Aiyuk play for next season? Honestly, I it's tough because what's going to be the asking price for someone who doesn't want to be there? Not that Brandon Aiyuk doesn't want to be there, because I assume it's great competing for Super Bowls every year, like the Niners are. The Niners have been in the Super Bowl bubble since they had Jimmy G. You know? So, what would the Commanders offer for a player that they know you don't want to pay him? He doesn't want to really, be there if he's not going to get compensated. So could I see him going for a second round pick? Yeah, I can. Because not only do they have to trade for him, they have to pay him. And that's the thing. I don't know. Like, yes, the market's going up and up and up with the wide receiver position, and your non-quarterbacks just getting paid more and more and more. But what's going to be the gravitas of doing this? And if it's the Commanders, what are they going to look like now? They got good weapons. Got a fantastic young quarterback who should have a really good year. But I don't know. My prediction right now, fuck it. Steeler. I'd love it, but that's neither here nor there. That's just my prediction. Brandon Aiyuk, I want to see you in the black and gold next year, and I want to see us light it up, and it's going to be so fun to watch. Well, I'm going to wrap up this quick little 8-minute video. As always, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Cover 2 podcast. For the Cover 2 podcast, I'm Lawson Turner, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.